I'm standing on my balcony right now in Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm not to be back on the ship until tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 p.m. That's right, an overnight port in Stockholm in June. And here's the thing. It is 11:30 in the morning, and the sun has been up since 4 a.m. I've been up since 4 a.m. It barely set last night. I'm not kidding. The sky never went fully dark. There's something about being this far north in the summer that messes with you in the most beautiful way. I've been on a lot of cruise itineraries: the Caribbean, Mediterranean, Norwegian fjords just recently a couple of weeks ago. But I want to talk to you today about one that I think might be the most underrated, underbooked, and underappreciated itineraries out there right now. And I'm living it in real time. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura, and welcome to Living on Cruise Control, where just over a year ago, actually almost a year and a half ago, I left the corporate grind to pursue my dream of living full time on cruise ships. And right now, I am docked overnight in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Today, I want to break down this specific itinerary: the Norway, Denmark, and Sweden sailing on Sky Princess, because I think there are a lot of people out there who scroll right past thinking it's a little obscure, a little cold, a little far from home, and I want to change your mind. I'm going to tell you what's on this sailing, which ports literally blew me away, which ones surprised me in ways I didn't expect, the practical tips I've learned along the way, and honestly, why the structure of this itinerary might be one of the best designed sailings I've been on to date. Let me walk you through what this sailing actually looks like, because I think the structure is part of what makes it so good. You depart Southampton, have a sea day to decompress, settle in, and then you start hitting the ports: Skagen in Denmark, then Copenhagen, Warnemünde in Germany, which is not far from Berlin, then another sea day, Tallinn, Estonia, Helsinki, Finland, and then Stockholm, Sweden, where you don't just dock for the day, you stay overnight. 2 days in port. That is rare. Then Visby, which I haven't been to yet, which is supposed to be an incredible medieval island in Sweden. Honestly, I'd never even heard of it. Then Christiansand in Norway, which I did learn a couple weeks ago is one of the warmest, sunniest places in all of Norway. And then a final sea day. And then we head back to Southampton. So on a 14-day cruise, we have 5 countries, 8 ports, 4 sea days, which if you're living full-time on ships like I am, or even if you just want some breathing room between those port days, those sea days are gold. You're not grinding through a port every single day with no rest. The rhythm is really balanced. And here's something that genuinely surprised me about this part of the world. 2 of the port days, Warnemünde and Tallinn, our all aboard times were 9:30 and 10 p.m., 10 o'clock at night. And because the sun doesn't set until nearly midnight up here in June, you are exploring in the daylight well into the evening. That changes everything about how you experience a port. You don't feel rushed. You're not watching the clock. You're not stressing to make sure that you can get back on board early enough. You have time to just wander and breathe and actually be somewhere. I want to talk to you about something that nobody really prepares you for when you cruise this part of the world in the summer, and that is the light. The sun rises before 4 a.m., and it barely sets. Last night, I was standing on this balcony at 11 p.m., and the sky was still this deep, glowing blue. Not dark, not really twilight, just glowing. It does something to you. It's disorienting in a beautiful way. I'll tell you, those blackout curtains in your room definitely come in handy. But if you're a sunrise person, which I absolutely am, you technically have hours to catch it. You're not setting an alarm for a narrow 15-minute window. The light lingers, the golden hour stretches. It's extraordinary to film in. It's extraordinary to sit in. What it does mean, though, is that your sleep schedule gets tested. It never really feels like nighttime. So come prepared for that. Again, those blackout curtains are going to be your best friend. Most modern ship cruise cabins have them, but use them. Your body will thank you. Okay, let's talk about the actual ports. And I'm going to be honest with you, because that's what I do here. Some of these completely surprised me, and one of them surprised me in a way I didn't expect at all. I had a very specific picture in my head of Skagen, or I think it's even pronounced Skagen if I listen to the Princess Insider JoJo. Growing up, I used to see Skagen watches. You know, those cool silver bands? Not like this. They're like silver metal watch bands. I think they were cool back in the 80s. There was something a little classy about them. So I had this image of Skagen as this metropolitan, design forward Danish city. And it's not that. Not even close. And I mean that as a compliment. Skagen is a small, quiet, gorgeous seaside town. No tall buildings, flowers absolutely everywhere. In yards, along the fences, overflowing out of window boxes. Everybody's on a bicycle. You can even rent a bicycle at the port. And there are cycling tours that take you along the coast at the most relaxed, unhurried pace. Electric cars are everywhere, even electric buses. This place is just really clean and quiet and beautiful in a way that felt almost surprising to me. If you go in expecting a city and you get a seaside village, that's actually a gift. Let it be what it is. Copenhagen reminded me immediately of Amsterdam, and I mean that in the best possible way. It's bigger, it's metropolitan, it's vibrant, the coffee was incredible, the pastries are the real deal. Please go find a local bakery and not a chain. Don't go to Starbucks when you're on vacation. Find something local. Trust me, it's worth it. But what struck me the most was the infrastructure for getting around. At intersections in Copenhagen, there are literally 3 separate lanes with 3 separate stoplights. One for the cars, one for bicycles, one for pedestrians, all operating independently. It sounds like chaos, but it works beautifully. And it tells you everything about how the city prioritizes people and movement. Just be careful crossing those streets. Read the lights. Your American instincts about when it's safe to cross are going to be wrong. Copenhagen is a port day you could easily fill twice over. Give yourself grace if you can't see everything. Pick a neighborhood, wander it slowly, find a cafe, sit in it. Reviews. Okay, let's head down there. And then we're gonna come sit up here so we can people watch on the sidewalk and get some fresh air. Okay, easy does it. Hi. How are you?
I'm good, yourself?
Good. How cute.
Yeah, you like it?
I love it. Oh my goodness. Definitely not going to Starbucks today.
No.
It's so cute
Why
here.
going to Starbucks when you can have this beautiful place?
Have this beautiful place.
Some personality.
Absolutely. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Thank
Oh, I
you.
can't wait to have some coffee. My favorite. So, do you have cappuccino with almond milk?
Yeah.
Perfect. And then Warnemünde is your gateway to Berlin, if that's on your list. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour round trip by train or excursion. But Warnemünde itself is also a lovely port town on the Baltic coast. And because this port day goes until 10 p.m., you have serious flexibility. You can do Berlin, you can spend the whole day in the town itself, or you can do both. I actually went to this port when I was on my very first Holland America cruise. I've been to a few of these places before on my very first cruise. You know, the one with all the mistakes? The one where I booked a cruise excursion every single day, and I did a full day headed into Berlin. And what I remember about that particular day is the Berlin Wall was pretty cool. They even sell like actual pieces of it that you can buy of the real Berlin Wall. And it's all kind of broken down now. But we also went to a concentration camp. And I remember it being the second, I think, concentration camp ever built. And it was haunting. It was a tough day. You could feel the energy of the people that had lived and died there. It was dark. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't one of my favorite days. If you ever watched that movie, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which is also a very haunting movie, they actually had like the prisoner, I guess, uniforms or clothing of these striped clothes that reminded me of that movie. And I didn't love it. In fact, it's not something that I would recommend. It still bothers me. So just be prepared. It's not that I wouldn't recommend it. Just know and be prepared that it just feels really dark and heavy. On the opposite side, Tallinn was one of my absolute favorites on this itinerary and the first time I went there. I don't remember even hearing that Estonia existed. Again, geography and history were not my top subjects back in school. It's more of a math, science, and English kind of girl. But I don't remember learning about Tallinn, Estonia. It's cool. I wasn't really expecting to feel that way going in. The people there are just beautiful. They're natural. In fact, everybody, honestly, in this part of the world are just stunning, just naturally gorgeous. Fruits and berries. And the people in Estonia, they're just so gentle. They're just such gentle, soft spoken, kind, like organic people, it felt like. It's outdoorsy, healthy. It's just living in a really authentic way. The Old Town is one of the best preserved medieval city centers in all of Europe, and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You're walking through cobblestone streets inside city walls that are over 700 years old. What I loved most in Tallinn was the handcraft culture. If you love buying things that are actually made by a human being, handmade, locally produced, generally one of a kind, Tallinn is your place. I found a ring that was hand crocheted. Let me see if I can show you. I'm wearing it on my thumb right now because I think it just looks so pretty. It's actually hand crocheted and then coated in a gold paint finish to preserve it. It was only 15 euros. And I thought, how cool. Something that was so beautifully handmade by a local artisan. You can really feel the energy in something that was made with someone's hands. I also found a scarf that was made of alpaca and silk and some hand-blown glass pieces. Not a glass plate, but this ring and some jewelry that again was so beautiful. I'll be sharing more of what I bought on an upcoming members only video. If you want access to that, the link to join is right below. I even stopped to have some lunch and asked the waitress what she recommended, something local, and had some barbecue grilled pork, sauerkraut, some diced apples, and boiled potatoes. Lots of boiled potatoes around the menu. Helsinki was beautiful, but I'll be honest, the weather when I was there was cold, windy, and wet. And that brings me to one of the most important tips I have for this entire itinerary. And then there's where I'm sitting right now, Stockholm. We arrived this morning and I don't have to be back until 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. An overnight in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. An overnight port changes everything. You're not watching the all aboard clock. You're not doing the math on whether you have enough time. You can actually have dinner somewhere or go on a sunset sailing or do a night type of an excursion or adventure. You can see the city in the evening lights. You can wake up tomorrow morning and do it again. That kind of breathing room is rare on a cruise itinerary, and it's one of the reasons I really love this sailing. If you're finding this video informational or inspirational, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another update of my life living full-time on cruise ships. Okay, a couple of people have asked me about the dresses in my video, and honestly, this is one of my favorites. It is an off-the-shoulder maxi dress. There's little slits on the side. It has pockets, and it can go off the shoulder or you can pull it back up on your shoulder if you like that look better. It's perfect for port days. It's great if you want to like dress it up. I'm kind of dressing it up a little casually today to go around the port, but it's actually a swimsuit cover up, so you can wear it to the pool, you can wear it to the beach, You can even dress it up if you want to put on some fancy jewelry and some high heels. It's multi-purpose. It doesn't wrinkle. It washes easily. I have it in 3 colors. This color, royal blue, and a black. And I've been able to wear it in all 3 types of situations. The black one, you can definitely even put a belt on it. It's got a high waist. It's very forgiving and roomy, so it fits most sizes. It's definitely can be small and stretchy. I have a link. It's inexpensive too, right? Bougie on a budget. It's on my Amazon storefront. The link is in the description, and it's genuinely not expensive for how much I've gotten out of it. Comes in solid and some really pretty prints, like flowers. Okay, I want to give you some real practical advice for this special itinerary, because I've learned some things I wish I had known going in. Weather in this part of the world is, let's say, unpredictable. Full stop, Helsinki was cold and wet when I arrived, but Tallinn, which I was slightly worried about, never rained a single raindrop. I've learned to check the weather the morning of each port day before I finalize my plan. Have plan A, have plan B. If a day that was supposed to be gorgeous turns out to be gray, what's your indoor option? Or a place where maybe you're not stuck in the cold, rain, and wind or snow. And if the day looked like it's going to rain turns out to be sunny, maybe it's only 10% chance of rain, are you ready to pivot and make the most of it? Like this kind of a day. Ooh, so pretty. Don't lock yourself in. Stay flexible. That's just a good travel advice, period. Stay flexible. One thing I've learned is the Premier and Plus packages have changed a bit on Princess, depending on when you purchased it. So now Premier has $200 in excursion credit that is added onto your folio. Make sure you check your folio when you board to confirm that it's actually there. But one of the ways that I've been using that credit on this sailing is for the hop-on, hop-off buses. I booked them through the Princess Excursion Desk. The prices from what I've seen are comparable to if you book them independently when you get off the ship or online. Copenhagen, as an example, was $34.95. And if you're an elite status with Princess, you do get that 10% back, which is only $3.50, which sounds small, but when you're cruising bougie on a budget full time, and you do that 4 or 5 times across a sailing, it just starts to add up week after week, month after month. Every dollar matters. The hop-on, hop-off is also my preferred way to explore ports where I want more flexibility. I like being able to get off where I want, stay as long as I want, and hop back on, especially on ports where you have until 10 p.m. and you want that freedom. This part of the world has incredible craft culture, especially in Tallinn. Put down the mass-produced souvenir magnets, walk into a market stall where something actually being made by the actual artist. Spend 15 euros on a ring someone crocheted by hand. You'll just remember it differently. When you're choosing a cruise itinerary, most people think about the destination, the Caribbean versus Europe versus Alaska, but I want you to think about the structure of the sailing itself. How many port days versus sea days? Do you want back-to-back ports, or do you need some breathing room? And are there any overnights? Any late port days? This itinerary hits 5 countries, has an overnight, has 2 late-night port days, and has sea days built in, so you don't feel like you're sprinting the whole time. Really study the port schedule as much as you study the destination. I want to say something that I don't think shows up enough in cruise content about this region. And it's not about the port or the itinerary or the logistics. The people in this part of the world are just different to be around. And I mean that in the most genuine way. Everywhere I've gone on this itinerary, Skagen, Copenhagen, Tallinn, Helsinki, I keep noticing the same thing. Families on bicycles, people walking to work, people riding their bicycles to work, kids in parks on a Tuesday afternoon, smoothie shops, salads, matcha, fresh vegetables. That looks like people actually care about their health. There's just a quality of life here that you can feel when you're in it. the natural beauty of the people, not in a plastic way, not in an overproduced, over made up way. Just people who are outside and moving and eating well and seem to genuinely enjoy being alive. It makes you want to slow down. It makes you look at your own habits. It makes you think. I think sometimes we choose cruise destinations for the beaches or the history or the food, and those things absolutely matter. But sometimes the most powerful thing a destination gives you is a feeling, a different pace, a different picture of what daily life can look like. This itinerary has given me that multiple times. I'm about to go explore Stockholm for the rest of today, and I'll be back out there tomorrow morning before we sail. And sitting here right now, looking at this city, thinking about everything I've seen on the sailing, Skagen's flowers and bicycles, the coffee in Copenhagen, the cobblestones in Tallinn, the midnight sky that never quite went dark. I think this itinerary deserves way more attention than it gets. If you are someone who is drawn to history and culture and healthy, beautiful cities, and that particular quality of light that only exists this far north in the summer, this sailing is for you. If you want to visit 5 countries in 2 weeks without feeling like you're constantly rushing, this sailing is for you. And if you want an overnight port in one of the most breathtaking cities in Europe, this sailing is absolutely for you. Thanks so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate your support, and I hope to see you on a cruise one day. Thanks.